tutorial for I Wish I Could Shimmy Like My Sister Kate, also sometimes just called Sister Kate. This song was written by Armand J. Perron and published in 1922 by Clarence Williams. We'll be looking at the song in the key of G major, as it works very well for the ukulele. I will link in a card above and the video description below for a play-along video of me playing the whole arrangement of the song with the chords on the screen. Before we get into breaking the song down, please subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out with making more of these video tutorials moving forward. The song is generally played in an up-tempo 4/4 swing feel, and I tend to play the verses with a down, down, up, down, up, down, up pattern, with a little more emphasis on beats 2 and 4 of the bar. So let me quickly demonstrate this over a few bars. So, a 1, 2, 3, 4. The song has a very distinctive chord progression motif for its intro that is then featured throughout the song and at the end of each verse, and also for the outro of the song. And this is played with 2 variations. The first one I think of as the short motif, and this is just 4 bars long, and the second one, the long motif, is very similar to the first but has a turnaround in the 4th bar and then adds 2 more bars to the sequence, so it's 6 bars in total. This is probably the trickiest part of the song to master, and is much easier if you can memorise the sequence, as despite the chords themselves not being difficult, the chord changes come quite fast. Also, I definitely recommend you practice this slowly to start with and then slowly build up your speed, and it will make things much easier in the long run. So let's look at the short motif first. The first bar has 2 chords sharing the bar equally. The first chord is a C6 chord, which is played on beats 1 and 2 of the bar. And then the second chord is a C sharp diminished 7, which is played on beats 3 and 4 of the bar. In bar 2 we have another 2 chords, firstly a G6 chord on beats 1 and 2, and then an E7 chord on beats 3 and 4. In bar 3 again we have 2 more chords, firstly an A9, which is really just an extension of an A7, with a B note added to it, and that's played on beats 1 and 2. And then we have a rootless D7 chord, so a D7 with no D in it, played on beats 3 and 4. The reason for these chord choices is so that we have the melody notes in the chords that we're playing. And then in bar 4 we have a whole bar of G major. So if I play these 4 bars slowly, just playing down strums, it would sound something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to make this a little more fluid and make it swing more, try adding some up strums in between the down strums as well. For example, in bar 1, try down, down, up on both chords, so like this. And then in bar 2, I like to play down, up, down on the G6 chord, and then change to the E7 early and play the up strum after beat 2 on that chord, and then I miss the down on 3 and play up, down, up to finish the bar. So that would sound something like this. Then in bar 3 I tend to play down, down, up on the first chord, and then down, up on the second chord. So, and then in bar 4 I just play a full bar of what is commonly referred to as the calypso or the island strum. So down, down, up, like so. So put that all together and you end up with something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a little faster. A 1, 2, 3, 4. So in order to play the longer motif, we would play the first 4 bars exactly the same as we've just done, except in bar 4, instead of playing a full bar of G, we would just play the first 2 beats as the G, and then we'd play the second half of the bar as an E7, and then we'd repeat bars 3 and 4 again from the short motif. So now the E7 at the end of bar 4 is acting as a turnaround to effectively reset us to play the last 2 bars again. So played slowly, the longer motif would sound something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. And at tempo, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you can get both these motif variations down, you've really done all the hard work, as the verses of the song are just 2 chords, a D7 and a G major. Although we use the rootless D7 in the motif chord progression, it definitely sounds better to my ear to play the barred version of D7 for the verses. And this will also give you the potential of a nice slide into the chord option that we'll look at in a minute as well. So for the verses of the song, we have 2 bars of D7 that are then followed by 2 bars of G major. And this is then repeated 2 more times, so for 12 bars in total, before wrapping up the verse with either the short or the longer chord motif that we've just looked at. But this time they'll have lyrics sung over them. It's also very common to have an abrupt stop on beat 1 of bar 7 on the G chord and then not start playing again until the D7 in bar 9. These 2 bars will often have a fill played by a bass player or a lead instrument. When I'm playing the song myself unaccompanied, I'll often play the rhythm on muted strings just to keep time, so something like this. So the first verse with the stop and the muted strings and the long motif at the end would sound something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish I could shimmer like my sister Kate. Shake it like a bowl of jelly on a plate. My mama wanted to know last night, what makes the boys think that Kate's so nice? All the boys in the neighborhood know she can shimmy and it's understood. Now I may be late, but I'll be up to date when I can shimmy like my sister Kate. Oh yeah, shake it like my sister Kate. The second verse is basically the same 12 bars of D7 and G major, but this time it's finished off with the short motif before going into an instrumental verse. I mentioned earlier about a nice slide into the chord option on the barred D7 chord, and the way this works is we play our D7 chord shape, but at the first fret, so effectively a D flat 7, on beat 4 of the bar before, and we slide up to the second fret to play the D7 on beat 1 and for the rest of the 2 bars. So something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or with the vocal, a 1, 2, 3. I went to a dance with my sister Kate. This can also work nicely on the G chord if we play it in this barred form and we slide it up from the same shape at the first fret, so a G flat. So 4, 1. So let me just demo the second verse, just counting the beats. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the second verse with the lyrics and this slide. A 1, 2, 3. I went to a dance with my sister Kate. Everybody thought she danced so great. I realized a thing or two, got wise to something new. I looked at Kate, she was in a trance. Then I knew it was in her dance. All the boys are going wild over Sister Katie's style. After the second verse, there's an instrumental verse with the longer motif at the end, and you could either just play the normal chords here, or maybe use the slide into the chord technique as just discussed. I'll often play some different chord inversions here with some simple embellishments to make it a little more interesting. For example, for the bars of D7, I play this D7 inversion at the 5th fret, and then I add my third finger to the 7th fret of the A string, giving me a D9 chord halfway through the bar each time. So I end up with this. And then for the bars of the G, I play this G inversion barred across the 7th fret with the little finger at the 10th fret on the A string, and then I take my little finger off, giving me a G6 chord halfway through each bar, giving me this. And then I go back into the normal chord positions for the longer chord motif at the end. So the instrumental section with those extra chord inversions would sound something like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. After the instrumental verse, there's one more verse with the longer chord ending, and then finally we play the whole long motif once again instrumentally to finish. In the final bar, a nice idea for a bluesy ending is to play a G chord on beat 1 of the bar, and then move the chord shape down 1 fret towards the headstock, which effectively gives us a G flat chord, except for the open G string. And then we play this on beat 2 of the bar, and then we move back up to the G shape again for one final more strum on beat 3, which would sound something like this. We could also do this with the barred G shape, which would obviously give us a full G flat chord. So I'll now demonstrate the final verse with the long motif and then the long motif instrumentally to finish. A 1, 2, 3, 4. If I could shake it like my sister Kate, I never stay at home, stay out too late. I get myself about as high as a kite. You know I do it for you every night. Now all the boys in the neighborhood know cake and shimmy and it's mighty good. Now I may be late, but I'll be up to date. I can shimmy like my sister Kate, oh yeah. Shake it like my sister Kate. So that wraps it up for this arrangement of I Wish I Could Shimmy Like My Sister Kate in G major. I've linked in the card above and also the video description below to a play along video of me playing the whole arrangement of the song with the chords on the screen as we go. If you found this tutorial helpful or have any questions, please leave a comment, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, as I regularly post videos for ukulele at all different levels. If you'd like a PDF of the song sheet with the lyrics and the chord shapes, buy me a coffee, see how to do so in the link below the video, and I will email a copy over to you. Alternatively, you could join me over at Patreon, where all my tutorials and accompanying PDFs can be found in one place. The link for this can also be found in the description below. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.